Oh, yeah. April 29th, Denver, Colorado. We're talking about BKFC 41. I can't believe this. We're also talking about Luke Rockhold. You're going to take on Mike Perry. Luke, I mean, this is the weirdest fight I've ever heard of that instantly I'm like, if it's in a parking lot, if it's behind a fence, I'm there. I need to see this fight. Is that why you're taking this? Because thank you, please, thank you. This is like that gas station hot dog with the cheese inserted ahead of time in the middle. I mean, I can't complain here, brother.
A little bit of bacon wrapped around that thing.
Oh yeah, come on. You speak gas station food? You're not with that body. Come on, you don't know you don't know what's going on here.
I prefer the ballpark. I prefer the little Mexican stand outside the ballpark with the bacon wrap hot dog. That's the shit.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. When you get a phone call and they're like, main event, Mike Perry, I'm gonna guess attractive financial options, you can't pass this up, right? You just can't.
Done deal. I liked it. I liked it a lot from the beginning. I was talking to everybody, and there was interesting offers everywhere. But bare knuckle, I think is there's something so pure about it, and it's it's the essence of combat, and it's fucking just it's wild. It's fucking on the rise. It's something different, and it's a challenge, and it's Mike fucking Perry, this little fucking punk I love to put my hands on.
Is there any history? I don't think you two have ever crossed paths. What do we got here?
No, there's no history. No history. It's just, Mike Perry is one of those guys that you want to punch in the face. I'm sure people feel the same about me. I'm sure he feels the same about me. But my hands are going to land first.
Well, he's already proven, Luke, that he can transition to this new sport and, figure it out pretty quickly. He's also a lot smaller than you.
Yeah, he figured out he can transition to this sport and fight a 45-pounder in Julian Lane and lose that fight. You're losing 4 and 5 on that fight. You can't. This is a different game. You're stepping up into the big leagues when you're fighting me. There's a reason why you never fucking made it to the top of the game in the UFC. And yeah, there's so many more dimensions to obviously fighting. But now all I've been doing is working on my boxing. I mean, obviously you can see a little bit of that in my last 3 years when I took time off from fighting. All I was really doing was throwing hands, and I don't think anyone expected me to throw hands against Paulo. And look who was fucking dancing all over the fucking ring.
Yeah. So that night, that fight, that performance, Luke Rockhold, so this animal came out of you. I mean, it's probably been there all along. You're a champion in multiple promotions. You're, one of the greatest middleweight fighters of all time. What the hell happened though in that Paulo Costa fight? Because, every aggressive male instinct came out in like a cannon.
That's me. I don't know. People want to perceive certain things of who I am or what I've done because of maybe the Ralph Lauren deal I did, whatever else. But I've always been this person, and it just takes the right fight to provoke it. It's been there in other fights. Look at my Jacare fight. Look at my other fights with Tim Kennedy. Look at these fights. I've been here the whole fucking time. The people are just too blind to see it. I'm fucking, but it's only getting fucking worse, and it's about to get fucking worse for Mike Perry. I really feel the dog inside of myself, and this is where it comes out. There's no better place to come out than bare knuckle.
All right. How do you prepare? Because there are elements that are similar to MMA. There's elements that are similar to, a fist fight. I'm sure you've gotten into a few. How do you specifically prepare for this new sport, this matchup?
You put hands to the target. You don't load up. You just hit that spot. You know what I mean? There's movement. There's obviously, I don't have to worry about kicks. I don't have to worry about takedowns. I don't have to worry about getting takedowns. And it's like my focus is on footwork, movement, and landing and finding the target. So this will be, I think you'll see a lot better version of myself within that world.
What is the weight, the weight contracted limit for this fight?
The weight contracted limit is 186 pounds.
So that's right in your wheelhouse. No issue.
I mean, it's fun. It's not easy to make weight these days. I'd rather not. I'd rather make it 190. I tried to push it, but Mike didn't want to do that. I think they're planning on me getting sucked out, but I've got my weight cut down this time, and as you can see, my last time it was perfectly done, and obviously not. I mean, besides the altitude, but the weight was right. I felt great. And this one's only gonna be better. I'm way ahead. I'm more ahead of the game. I can square away like my weight. Obviously, just within boxing, I don't have to worry about like, certain muscle groups that I have to build within fucking wrestling and grappling and kicking. So I've structured myself well. I'm ready to fucking put my hands on this kid's face.
Now, did you have intentions on continuing your fighting career? Was this a surprise to you, or the timing just perfect?
I was ready to make a change. I wanted to do some boxing. My legs have been and so beat up. I've had multiple surgeries, and I think everyone's pretty aware of that issue. And taking away my left kick, I had two bad ankle surgeries after this fight from the fight and prior shit. So trying to get that fixed, it's been a headache and a long problem, and not to mention the shin surgery I had years ago too. So going in there with a wrap around my leg and all these things, it's hard. It's hard to like go in there and fight the best fighters in the world without my biggest weapon and different things. So the time away, I asked the UFCs if I can go out and box and use my body, and while I still can, while I still want to. I like fighting. I still enjoy fighting. I took 3 years off, and that's what I needed to find that love for fighting again. And I think you saw a little bit of that, but I think it's gonna get better. It's just gonna get better this time out.
What is it specifically about this game that drives you so much? Is it the competition? Is it the anxiety and the fear in the moment? Is it a rush? I mean, what is it? Is it just dominating and winning? Like what drives you to want to keep doing this now?
Fighting makes you feel alive. When you're putting something on the line and it's real, and it makes your heart beat, it makes your blood pulse, it makes every bit of you focus in that moment, and you have to be as present as you possibly can. It makes life worth living for me. It's fighting, and I love it, and I'm gonna do it as long. My head is clear, my eyes are clear. Like I said, I'm sharp as can be. I haven't lost it any bit of myself within this game. I feel like, obviously with injuries in my legs and different things, but I feel fucking healthy upstairs and downstairs, and I'm ready to go. I love it.
How, the second half of your career was interrupted a lot because of injuries. Do you come to terms with that as a competitor, that it is what it is, or is there still part of you that's like trying to, I don't know, live up to something, or not check something off the to-do list in terms of your career?
I mean, I have injuries, I had mistakes, I had things that things happened, whether they should have, they shouldn't have. I'm still doing my thing, and I'm still got more to prove to myself, and the world can watch if they want to, but I'm going to fucking put on a show every time I go out there.
All right, well, back to that show you put on against Paulo Costa. That's like the greatest victory I've ever seen someone have, where it didn't even matter the result of the fight, because there was like a transaction that took place. I gotta assume you exited that with a pep in your step, that you slayed a demon, or something happened during that fight that was healing, which is crazy to say about a bloody, wild, insane fight.
I guess that's why I'm here, and bare knuckle, about to fucking put it on this kid. Hey, yeah, it definitely brought back some love for fighting, and it makes me, want to further that. It makes me want to better that. I feel like I'm just getting better in so many ways, and I'm enjoying the process more than ever now.
All right, but what if somebody, calls you up and says, "Hey, Luke, I'd love to get you back in the modeling game, but now you're doing bare knuckle, man. You could get sliced up. You could have a permanent, Mike Perry could be on your face for the rest of your life."
Or I could be on Mike Perry's face, all over it.
All right. All right. You don't have to prove nothing to us. We know the true fighter you are. Do you have plans on how much further you want to keep going? Is this just sort of like, if this is fun and it goes well, we'll keep answering the phone? How deep is this boxing pivot going to be for you?
I'm enjoying throwing hands, and I enjoy fighting. I don't know. We'll see. One at a time. I'm on my own promotion now. I'm doing one fight at a time, and I'm enjoying fighting, like I said, and I don't plan on stopping. I plan on going through this kid, and then we'll see what's next. Bare knuckle could be an option. There could be boxing options. There could be fighting options, but I'm in the seat where I want to be, and I'm driving fast.
Do you ever think much about how people will remember you, how they'll categorize you, how they might, if someone mentions your name 20 years from now, you ever care about what they might say?
I think we all care a little bit to some extent, but being happy with it on my own end is the most important thing for me. I think that reflects, as long as you're happy with yourself, as long as you're doing it for yourself, you're doing it for all the right reasons, then the best of you comes out, and the best thought of you is left with everybody else, I guess. So I did it, like I said, after I won the title. I didn't say this, but after I won the title, I was doing this on their terms. I was trying to play to society, what society wanted, to make money and to capitalize, and I lost myself for a long time. And that time away, that 3 years off, really made me understand what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this for myself, and I'm doing this for all the right reasons, and finding that fucking dog and that want and that need to do it on my terms is what came out, and what has been there before. But people only remember your last fights, and so I had to remind people who I am, and I'm going to continue to remind people who I am.
I'm sold. I'm sold. April 29th, Denver, Colorado, with BKFC 41. You sold me. I mean, look, when I see Mike Perry on a marquee, I'm typically sold anyway. Is there any chance you'll come out of this respecting that man? Nice things to say about him. Hey, maybe a bromance, maybe an Apollo Rocky run on the beach and, hug with the half shirts. Could you get down with that level of crazy?
Mike Perry is not exactly my cup of tea. I'm gonna stay over on my side of the West Coast, and he could be an East Coast fool over there. But I respect him as a fighter. He's a tough kid, and he brings it, and I do have respect for that. Otherwise, I'm gonna disrespect the fuck out of him that cage, ring, wherever the fucking it may be. Mike Perry will not exist with me in any form of combat.
I think there's part of you, Luke Rockhold, that likes playing the villain.
I like to fight. Fighting is, you're fucking, you gotta be evil. You gotta be a villain to some extent. Fighting is fighting. So I'm just gonna fucking do what I need to do.
Hey man, keep going. It's working out fun for you. Always a pleasure watching you. Great chatting with you, Luke Rockhold. April 29th. Can't wait to see it, man. Best of luck.
Thank you. Let's do it.